Alright, Chapter 8, the employment interview. Starting out with choosing a career path. And when you're choosing your career path, you want to look in fields that people are always going to need, such as healthcare. We're always going to need people that know how to work with technology as well, and always going to need teachers, like it says, and engineers, people that are helping the infrastructure of our country. And places that will help you look for careers are, you can look for them in bookstores, professional centers, and the Myers-Briggs personality indicator has 40 different career fields highlighted that when you take this personality test, pretty much, it tells you which kind of careers your personality is best suited for. Same with career ameliers, however you say it, I'm not sure. You can take it as a individual or as a group, and it gives you information on careers that you might not have even knew were out there. And the next thing is self-analysis, and this is more for you than anyone else. It's actually all for you. Your self-analysis is used to kind of tell you what kind of job you're actually looking for. You use it to pull out your strengths and weaknesses, and which really shows you what kind of jobs you're going to be best suited for and what you need to work on to be better at other jobs that you might be interested in but aren't as well suited for at this time. And also what you kind of need and want in a career is really the most important thing, such as what kind of salary you might be looking for, what kind of hours you might keep, is vacation time given, it's just questions that you need to ask yourself when looking for a career. Next is researching the field, and you're going to try to not necessarily find a business or an organization specifically, but you want to find what kind of businesses and industries are in the field that you're looking for or have chosen, and what they're doing, what kind of products they're putting out, or what kind of problems they're having within their own company. And when you're doing this, you want to learn really everything you can about the company you're starting to look at. You want to see what they're doing, what's going on with them, what new improvements they're making, what problems they're having, who their competitors are, and so on, and who they're really looking for to sell their product to, like their customers. Next is the interview process, and you want to find out who you're being interviewed by, if at all possible, and see what kind of interviews the company gives, so you're not really caught off guard by the situation you're put in when you get an interview. There's different types of interviews, and the first one is a screening interview, which may include drug tests and things like that, and giving them your resume and so on. And this is just a primary interview to kind of get you in the door, And then the next will be a determinant interview, and these are your more standard interviews that you think of at a job interview. Some may include IQ tests or integrity tests that may have more effect on certain jobs than others, and they're really good to use for some of these industries to see what kind of people that they're hiring. When you're searching for your new position, you don't want to search for you don't want to search for one thing. You want to search for a job. You want to search for a career, in that field, but not necessarily only one position that you have your mind set on. And this will help you get your foot in the door, or make yourself available to work your way up in a certain organization, such as a part-time job or even an internship. Next is networking, and networking is really kind of getting your foot in the door and really getting out there to try to find these different careers and getting your own name out there in this certain career field. And it says over 50% of human resources agents use different types of networking sites or discussion groups to find people to fill jobs in their own companies. And the first thing you're going to do when you start your networking is start a network tree, and this is basically going to include any family, friends, professors, even coaches in some instances, people that will be connected in some way to your career field, who might know of careers out there that you're looking to obtain. And this can include up to 50 names at some points, even more. And you're going to use this to basically get an idea of what kind of careers you can get into just from talking to people you know. And all it takes is, when you start your networking tree, all you need is the names and numbers of these people, and you're just calling and asking them if they know of any careers in this specific field. And if they give you a lead on something, make sure you take down the lead's name, number, and their position, so you can recall this information later. And if you do end up calling these people, you want to be able to ask for them by name. Places to look also outside of your networking tree are numerous. I mean, the internet, you can use classified ads. They're everywhere. The Wall Street Journal even. Next is preparing your credentials and your resume. Each resume, or each position that you apply for, you're gonna want to tailor your resume specifically to this position. You don't want to use a very bland kind of standard resume that you can send to a lot of different jobs, because it's not going to be when it's that generic, people aren't going to be impressed with it. You want it to tailor specifically to the position you're applying for at that specific place. And on your resume, you're going to include your name, kind of what you want to do. You're going to include your address and telephone number so they can get a hold of you clearly. And you're going to want to include objectives for why you would fill the position well. And if these certain objectives aren't what the recruiter is looking for, then sometimes that'll get your resume thrown out right there. And for your resume, you want to look for a career. You want to make sure that they know that you're looking for a career, not just you need something to do right now. You want to be brief with it. You don't want to expand the information too much. You want to be very concise. Like I said earlier, you want to target it specifically to the position that you're looking for at that company, and you want these objectives to not focus on yourself. You want to focus on what can happen, what you can do for the company, more so than what this career is to you. It's what you can be for them. And like myself, next would be your career experiences. And like myself, it's limited. I have not very much experience in this field. I'm still in college, and if this is the case, you want to list your education next, which is where you went to school, where it's located, and possibly what kind of classes you took that might relate to the position.